Hi, everyone.
Hello.
It's good to be back.
I know. I'm like, what day is today? It's a
You know
Tuesday.
what? I think it's Tuesday. I think it's the day after Memorial Day, which just, having a long weekend always throws my schedule off.
Yes.
So, but I've missed you. It's been
Me
quite a few weeks
too.
since we've seen each other.
I
And
know. It's gonna be a minute.
we were in the same town, but we didn't get to see each other while you were
I
down, unfortunately.
know. It was a crazy week, which
It
we will
was.
definitely discuss.
I think, yeah, I think you've got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yes.
And I think we will probably jump into it sooner rather than later, but want to make sure that we say hello to Orange Blossom and Tails, who are first up in the chat.
Yes. Welcome. Thank
you
you for joining us.
If you can hear that my voice is maybe a little deeper than usual today. Yeah, it was a late night last night, so
You sound, extra like gusto. It
I'll
sounds
just do my
very,
movie announcer voice.
very
Uh,
manly.
but I did, even though I didn't get to attend to the events you were at that we're going to be talking about a lot, I did get to see some of your social media posts, and it looks like you have had an amazing week. That as soon as we get just a couple more people logged in, we'll just jump right into talking about it.
Amazing. Yes.
Mm.
Incredible week. Packed. Jam packed. So
All
I'm
right.
excited.
Well, I think we've got a dozen or so friends who are listening in. I'm sure more people are going to join soon. So, what do you say we kick this thing off on a count of 3, 2?
Please lower your head and watch your step while boarding.
Welcome to the Attractions Podcast. You are all clear for dispatch. Have fun.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Attractions Podcast, sponsored by MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. I'm Seth.
And I'm Carly.
And we are here to talk to you about the latest and greatest in theme park news and more, as well as what's going on in our own lives. And Carly, it is so good to see you again. I had to disappear for a few weeks, and you've had some great adventures that we are going to be diving into for this whole show. But I just want to start up. It's great seeing you. I hope you got home safe from your travels.
Yes, I got home about 10 p.m. last night. I spent an entire week at Walt Disney World. Part work. The end, I made it a little staycation, which was lovely.
Yes.
But we were celebrating all things Cool Kids Summer, new reimagined classics, and I got to do it all. Got to do some behind the scenes stuff I can't talk about yet, but soon I'll be able to talk about. It was a really incredible few days. The energy of those events, and it was just so special because the headline, which we're going to be talking about, is the Muppets. And that for sure, for me personally, was the highlight.
Well, you definitely had a once in a lifetime experience, but even for just the guests who are coming, because I believe today is opening day for a whole bunch of new stuff at Walt Disney World that we're going to talk about all of it. And it's really exciting. I can't wait to hear about your experience.
Yes, I'm really excited. I went back and I rode. We'll talk about the Muppets event during this. I went back for annual pass holder previews as part of my vacation treat at the end of the week. And it was such a smooth experience. I always get so nervous when the virtual queues are a thing. I also didn't tell my husband that he thought the AP previews you just were guaranteed to do it. And he was traveling in to meet me. And I was like, I better get this virtual queue because I don't think I told him it's not guaranteed. I got it.
You're having flashbacks to the bad old days of when Galaxy's Edge first opened. Yes.
Gosh.
At least you can do the virtual queue from home.
Yeah.
At least you can do it from bed now. Well, yes, I actually also did the annual pass holder preview. I did not go to the media event like you did, but I did go to annual pass holder previews for a couple of the new rides at Disney that we're going to be talking about. But mostly the reason why I have been gone for the last few weeks is because of the Orlando International Fringe Theater Festival, which just wrapped up yesterday. me and Matt Palm, the reviewer for the Orlando Sentinel, decide on the Critics' Choice Awards. And I got home from the award ceremony around 4 a.m. So
A
it
wild,
was
wild
it
week.
was a great week. A lot of great people, a lot of great shows. Special shout out to 2 shows for theme park fans because there's a possibility you might still see them around the Orlando area. One, the Single Rider Songbook, a brand new musical that's all kind of outsider characters from Disney rides, and
Love.
the lyrics. If you basically need to be an annual pass holder or cast member to get all of the jokes. Even I
Right.
didn't get all of the references. Super
Wow.
detailed. Dr. Seeker, who no one has told him that his ride has been shut
No.
down, doesn't understand why he's been sitting in the break room for 3 months, had the best song in the show. Worth seeing just for that one. And another one to keep an eye out, Once Upon a Trader, Faithfully Ever After. It's parody of the Traders show with Alan Cummings, except all the
Mhm.
contestants are Disney heroes and villains. Alexander Mrazek, who, if you are a fan of Universal's horror makeup show, you might recognize as one of the best hosts for that show, which is currently on hiatus. He was starred as the Magic Mirror and a lot of other recognizable local people in the show. So that's another one to keep an eye out for. A lot of great theme park related content. And also, I always, encourage people to support the festival because a lot of the actors that you love in the theme parks would not stick with those theme park jobs year round if they didn't have the Fringe as a creative outlet once a year.
Right.
And it's a lot of the people who are now writing and directing the shows that you like in the theme parks started out at the Fringe. So definitely something to go out and support.
Incredible.
All right. Without any further ado, let's jump right into the news in the queue. All right. Well, most of this week's news is going to be Disney centric, but we've got to start out over at Epic Universe. Before the Fringe Festival Madness started, I spent a couple days over there with Alicia Stella, and I know you got to visit there with some family not too long ago.
Yeah.
Well, since then, they have introduced the character that everyone has been demanding since we saw this plush way back during previews. Captain Cacao is now a meet and greet character. As of the 22nd, you can officially meet him in Celestial Park. There are, the internet is breaking over him.
It is.
People are loving this character, and I think it's a great sign for the future of original characters and original IP in general in the parks, which I always love.
Absolutely. And it's, it's just the timing is so funny because we were just talking about losing mythos and these original Universal creative IPs. So we lost a little, but we gained something. So we love to see when that happens. It looks absolutely adorable. I was glued to social media feed of everyone getting to meet him. And I'm so happy about this and everything that we've been talking about with Epic Universe, like opening up Celestial Park and whatnot, just makes me excited and more hopeful that we're going to get to be hanging there on a more casual basis in the coming year, maybe.
Yeah, that was another big event announced very recently for Celestial Park. The first time they are having a private corporate event that's not so private, where people who are attending a certain convention in town are going to. Has this already happened? Was this just this past week, or is this coming up? I'm not sure.
I believe it's coming up.
I've been in a Fringe bubble, so I'm not sure of the exact date. But there will be a series of dates where people who do not have a ticket to ride the rides at Epic Universe will be allowed in with a convention badge just to wander around Celestial Park and shop at the restaurants and enjoy the live entertainment. And this is what you and I want. So we can go to Blue Dragon and hang out at the Plastered Owl. Yes. So
this is my dream.
If we can't have real annual passes, that sounds like the next best thing. And it is going to be testing. We actually got a great interview that Danny Meyering participated with with uh, the president of Epic Universe, Jeff Polk, and some really interesting information in there about the evolution of Epic Universe and changes that they have been doing over the past year now that the park is officially now 1 year old. Boy, that year went fast.
Crazy. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. And we see that adding more, they recognize they don't have enough rides, especially indoor rides, for the capacity that this park wants to have. And adding things like meet and greet characters, it's not the ultimate solution is building more rides. But in the meantime, it's great to see these. And in case you don't know somehow who Captain Cacao is, so Captain Cacao, he pilots the moonship of Moonship Chocolate, along with Maya of the Skies, who is the owner of the Celestial Sweets shop. And they fly around collecting ingredients for the candies that they make at that shop at the front of Epic Universe. And they've also got a third friend, Major Lolly, which is a tiny little sugar glider we have not yet seen in physical form, but maybe someday.
Yes. And I have to say, if you have never tried the macarons that are inside
they're excellent.
They're excellent. Yes.
Yeah, they're not like the mass produced.
Yeah. They reminded me of great ones that I had in Paris. Like really, really, really good. And there's one branded with him. So that is the one you have to get.
Now, what I need confirmation of, which I don't have, is do Captain Cacao and Maya know Penelope and Jacques over at Toothsome? Because that's they've also got a chocolate-based backstory, and I feel like they could all exist could all exist in like an extended universe. We could have like the equivalent of the MCU, except for Universal chocolate stores.
I love that. In all your free time, you should start writing fan fiction.
Oh my gosh! Oh, that could go wrong so quickly. All right. Go ahead and check out our article with photos of Captain Cow, and keep an eye out. Look in the app. That often doesn't tell you exact set times, and the location may be changing. Originally, he kind of popped out in between Super Nintendo and Darkmoor, but I suspect there's a bunch of spots in Celestial Park that he might get a better, more permanent meet and greet home. There's a couple restaurants that were supposed to open there that don't look like they're going to open, and that would be a spot to put a little air conditioned meet and greet, or maybe
that would be a great idea.
Special events building that they're building right over by Atlantic. Maybe that will also someday, but that's a little ways off because they got to go.
Absolutely. I mean, and this experience is so fresh. So I'm sure they're testing the waters, figure out what works best. I mean, if you think of Earl the Squirrel, he's kind of moved all over.
Right? Exactly.
Many places he has put his squirrels. Nuts.
I can't follow you. I set you up. You got to knock him down. That's fine. Okay, so yes, as of the May 22nd, you can meet the captain himself, and like I mentioned, go and check out that interview that Danny did with the park president. A lot of great stuff in there. While we are talking about Universal, it's never too early for Halloween, right?
Never.
We had our first announcements for the original IP. We know about the return of Jack and Dr. Oddfellow. Now we've got some licensed IP, and it's a big name. Sinners is coming to both Universal Orlando Resort and Universal Studios Hollywood. This was announced on May 26th. I'm sorry, May 21st. And we will be getting Sinners houses on both coasts. I got to admit that when I first heard about this this film, my first thought was, I saw From Dusk Till Dawn, so I can wait for this to come out on streaming. I'm very sorry. I wish I had seen it on a large format, because when I finally saw it, just blown away by this film. It's so beautiful, so atmospheric, so many great characters that will make great Halloween Horror Nights characters. But the thing I'm looking forward to most is not the vampires or the jump scares. It's that dreamlike scene with the music, and when you see all these figures from different eras of time dancing together. They better recreate that and let
They
us
have
walk through the
to.
middle of that.
I think people will riot, and you're so
Yeah.
right. I mean, this is like
That's what I want to
largely
see.
applauded as one of the best films in recent
hmm
times in the horror genre. I did pop into Universal Studios Florida because the merch is there. So if you want to get going on planning your merchandise buys for the upcoming Halloween
Oh
Horror
yeah.
Nights season, get your shirts. It looks great, and I'm definitely hyped for this one.
Oh yes. Yes, you want to pick up your hats and your t-shirts now, already online, and you can find them, I think, at the Five and Dime
Yep,
store.
they're at
That's
5 and
usually the
Dime.
best
Yep.
spot. Yep. Um, but yeah, this is a really great film. I encourage you to there's a lot of Halloween Horror Nights properties that I kind of slog through to prep myself for the event.
Yes.
This is one I will very happily rewatch. Um, and yeah, get ready for the event with if you have been collecting these little acrylic figures that go on a like kind of a carnival carousel stand.
It's like a really janky classic carnival carousel. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Honestly, the whole thing looks like when I was a kid, we had a thing called Shrinky Dinks,
Yes.
which were these, little figures. They're flat, and you'd put them in your oven, and they would shrink down to these little hard acrylic things. These things remind me of Shrinky
Yes,
Dinks,
they
totally.
do.
So the new set for Sinners, you can pick that one up. And you can also pick up your tickets because vacation packages, the event upgrades, RIP tours, I think pretty much everything is on sale right now except the Frequent
Frequent
Fears. I
fear.
don't think
Yep.
that's on sale yet. And I am still waiting on official confirmation of exactly how Scream Early is going to work now that they are starting it earlier than ever. Is it still include annual pass holders?
I hope
Or
so.
do we have to pay extra? I have not gotten a confirmation on that either way yet. So
Maybe we'll get a
stay
delayed
tuned.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for more Halloween Horror Nights news. All right. So now it is time to hop over to Disney. And boy, did you get to experience a lot at Disney. So we have articles breaking down each of these topics, all these things that either just opened, even opening today as we are speaking over at Walt Disney World. Rather than just read off the articles, I kind of want to hear your firsthand experiences with a lot of these. And we are
Yeah.
starting out at Disney's Hollywood Studios, where you got the first look at the refreshed Animation Courtyard. It's been a long time. It's been behind walls and kind of a mess back there, but it is now a tribute to the Disney Animation Studios out in Hollywood, and there's a lot of really fun Easter eggs.
Absolutely. I know we were both excited for this because this whole thing harkens back to the 90s era of MGM Studios,
Mhm.
and it looks amazing. I love this picture that you have up. When I first walked in, because it kind of today is May 26th, which is kind of the pinpoint day of everything officially launching. This
Yep.
is Cool Kids Summer. This is the new and reimagined classics. Something soft opened early, which this is one of them, Animation Courtyard. So the Disney Junior Playhouse show is not ready, and the magic of Disney animation, which is the experiential attraction that's indoors with the animator Fishbowl used to be, that's not going to be ready till later this summer, but you can enjoy the courtyard, and it's beautiful. I walked in there, the hat looks amazing. In this little bench area, I saw a family sitting, and it was a great reminder of how important it is to have these spaces that just feel like parks.
Yeah, the
Just a
green
normal
space,
park.
the
Sit.
pergola, the shade, just
Yep.
somewhere to decompress a little, because Hollywood Studios can be a very overwhelming park. A
Yes.
lot of soundtracks and visual overload. So I like that this is charming and chill, and I also love that they have incorporated all of these characters, and both that they're animated characters, but they've really scaled them to try to be a realistic life-size scale, and they they did some deep cuts here. They're not all just obvious picks too.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, these looked great. I love the tiny details. And again, like this is a park essentially, but it just has that feel of like so much love was put into it. And that makes me happy because again, this is throwing it back to the magic of Disney animation in the 90s when, you know, we had actual movies were made here. And so they did a great job at making this like a functioning space that also is deep with lore. I have to say, favorite part was Pluto's Corner, which is that recreation of that famous little corner that's in the real lot in Burbank. And it looked so good. It was really trippy to see. I had been there one time to go to Walt Disney's office. And so obviously took a picture there. So it looks great. And I love that little detail, you know, probably most people will just be like, okay, this looks like a cute thing where, you know, Pluto would hang out. But, you know, to know the story and everything behind it is really special.
I love that. Yeah, I got a picture of myself with that fire hydrant.
Yes.
There's tons of little details. You're gonna have to really keep your eyes peeled for some of them, like Ray the lightning bug from Princess and the Frog. He's way up high on one of the lampposts, so look up, but also look down because they have put character handprints, footprints, paw prints, tentacle prints, all sorts of prints, very much kind of parodying the prints that are outside of the Grauman's Chinese theater where Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is. And again, not just the A-listers, but some deeper cuts. You know, John Silver from Treasure Planet and Chicken Little. I don't know anyone was demanding a Chicken Little present.
Yeah, right.
It's there. Yeah.
No, you're totally right. And I have to say there is a photo pass set up right when you walk in and your backdrop is the hat. And I did it the other day. It was working early. Such a great shot. If you time the lighting right, and my photographer was amazing. I have this awesome picture just with the hat in the background and definitely don't miss that. I mean, it's the reason I spend $9.99 a month because you never know. I'm not going to use these pictures. I just like to have them.
Well, I am just glad that there is a sorcerer's hat back in the park, and it is not blocking the view of the icon of the park too. Those of you who remember the bad old days of the giant hat.
Yes.
All right, so that's just a warm up. That's just a taste. Next, we are soaring over to Epcot. And you got to ride this as the media. I got to ride this a couple times as an annual pass holder. And our reporter Mateo also got to ride as an annual pass holder. He's got some thoughts. I really encourage you to read his article. And the title, I think, kind of says it all. The title of his review is Soarin Across America lifts off but fails to reach new heights. And while that might be a little harsh, I don't think it's that far off the mark, personally. I kind of maybe have to agree. What did you think of the new Soarin Across America for the country's semi-sesquicentennial?
I don't know how
I pronounced that right?
I enjoyed it, but I know that
Semi-quincentennial.
the sentiment largely has been that some of the scenic shots kind of just fall flat. And maybe it's not as exciting or as engaging as previous versions of the ride. I liked it though. I mean, I think it's fascinating. We live in a country that has so many various landscapes that couldn't be more different than one another. So I really enjoyed it, but I know that wasn't everyone's sentiment. I also have, personal affection for this ride. It's been one of my favorites. We rented it out for our Disney wedding. So I think I just have like a special spot for it. But I know that, my opinion definitely differed than a lot of other people. It is all new footage that was taken with drones and whatnot. And there's also been enhancement from CGI, which, we've always talked about in the past. Like when
you say enhancement, I would say additions or changes. I wouldn't necessarily call them enhancements.
Additions, yeah, like maybe like a bird flying is CGI, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it's interesting because I got to ride this. I was lucky enough to be out just a few weeks before all this in California, and they run Soarin' over California, the OG. which I
So good.
still believe is the gold standard for flying theater shows in terms of emotional engagement. Maybe other things are more technologically advanced, but no flying theater has ever really like got you, in an emotional way. It's
Mhm.
quite the same way that Soarin' Over California does. And it seems to me like after the very negative reaction, I think that has been to Soarin' around the world, from the general fan base, no one says that that's a big improvement. So I think they kind of like took Soarin' Over California and were like, okay, shot for shot, what is the closest thing we can do to what people liked in this? And kind of so if you line up the Soarin' Over
Mhm.
California with the new Soarin' Across America, there are, exactly where you were going over the people riding the horses in California. Now you're going over the cowboys with the cows in here, or where you were going over the surf in Laguna Beach. Now you're going over the surf in Hawaii.
Right. Yep.
The difference is, though, it 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 it's just not as dynamic. The motion feels way toned down.
Mhm.
Even things like when the fireworks hit at the end, you don't get that pop, that hard little rock back that you used to from the fireworks. It's like everything, they just kind of smoothed it out. And I don't know, did people complain that Soren was too violent?
I mean, I do know quite a few people that don't ride it from motion sickness, so I'm
Yeah,
thinking, I wonder if that was,
I never thought of
this
it as a
is
particularly turbulent ride, but
I didn't personally, and I do get sick sometimes on attractions.
mhm.
I'm wondering if this is, a limited time offering for the nation's 250. I wonder if they're like, let's find a way to make it a little smoother so more people can experience it. I am not sure. It was
Maybe.
very smooth.
I will say, I don't like a lot of the CGI. Some of the editing I think is just not great.
Mhm.
But the opening scene, where you just kind of slowly lift up and watching the rocket take off. The way because it always used to be that the opening of Soarin' was kind of like you're just sort of moving forward into the
Yep.
dome, and it's either just blue or clouds or
Flying,
something, and
yeah.
it
Mhm.
and it was always kind of a cheese, not very convincing way of getting you into the ride. And the new opening now with the liftoff, beautifully done.
Oh,
I think
I
that's a
love
definite
that.
improvement. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the
Um,
Mount Rushmore scene was one of my favorites. Waikiki Beach,
mhm,
really enjoyed that.
mhm.
But no, I totally see both sides of the
Yeah,
spectrum.
yeah. So I mean, for my money, it is better than World,
Mhm.
but it's still not California. Um, I do appreciate though that flight attendant Patrick Warburton got upgraded in the pre-show to captain.
Yes. Oh,
That they brought him back to slightly update the video, so
I love that,
without
yeah.
getting rid of it. Yep.
Yes, the way I
Um,
don't wanna spoil it, but the way they did it, I really did enjoy that. I did
yeah.
spoil it for myself ahead, but I really, really liked the pre-show video.
Yep. That's a classic. And so we don't know exactly how long this America's 250th celebration is going to go on. I mean, Disney's year-long celebrations are usually about 18 months. So I
Correct.
wouldn't be surprised if this ran through the summer of 2027, maybe, at least until next 4th of July. So we'll see how long this lasts before we go back to World, or if maybe we'll have a whole new Soarin' someday. So,
Ooh, would not be mad
uh,
about that.
yeah. So check out Mateo's article if you want both a spoiler-free and a spoiler-filled breakdown of all the things that you see, and his justified ranting about some of the visual effects. All I gotta say is that scene when you're going through the Grand Canyon, following the river, and that
Mhm.
eagle or
The eagle
condor or
bird,
whatever is
yeah.
flying in front of you, and he passes through a giant shadow, and the shadow does not affect him in any way because he's not there. Um, don't we have some good visual effects artists on staff at Disney? I thought they
Yeah,
knew how
that
to
that
do.
was the one scene that everyone was
Yeah.
talking about.
Oof, oof. All right. Well, now that that's out of the way, let's talk about something a little happier. Let's talk about Bluey, because Bluey's Wild World has arrived at Disney's Animal Kingdom as of May 26th. And it looks like they did something pretty unique. They did a media preview, but not actually at the actual location. So they kind of recreated what they were going to be doing just for you in the media, huh?
Yes, they did it in World Showplace. I know you're familiar with
Okay.
that.
Yes.
It's the event space in Epcot
Mm-hmm.
near the UK Pavilion. This was I did not get remotely close to Bluey. This was like the second coming of the Beatles. So this was like a family focused media event,
And
so there was a lot of children there.
sure.
It
But these
was
are professionals with their children, right? So that, I mean, like you think it'd be a little calmer than just the general public.
we'll say content creators. So
Okay. All right.
you know, some behaved people, some
Professionals.
non-behaved
Yeah.
people, you know,
Uh-huh.
usually it goes. This was wild. It was the loudest
Oh my goodness.
noise I've
Oh
ever
my
heard.
goodness.
I had to exit and go to Rose and Crown after and get a
Ah.
fight because I have never been around that high pitched of screaming. You literally would have thought it was the
Wow.
Beatles or Taylor Swift coming out when they came out. And I have been following because now this is really open at Animal Kingdom, and I had a
Mhm.
few friends that went today. It looks similar. It's a very much a part of Disney's new kind of reimagined character meet and greets. I prefer
Mhm.
this. I'm not waiting in a line to go stand in a room with a character. They kind of come out and dance and interact with you. And I just think such a better experience to do it this
Yeah.
way. I love Oogie Boogie and the way they have really polished their enhanced character meet and greet. So
Mhm.
I think this is the way to go. Otherwise, people are going to be waiting hours if this was just like a traditional character meet and greet. But I mean, you're not guaranteed to get it. The virtual queue today was gone within seconds. I'm not sure if you tried, but it was.
Oh, I looked and yes, it vanished. There was a 7 a.m. drop, there was a 10 a.m. drop, and now it's saying that they are done for the day. They're not even saying
Yes.
that there's going to be another later drop. Let's see. I was looking at, and it looked like they were only up to group about 50 when we started today. So it's taken a little while to probably move folks through. That's the question. Is it's not like a ride where
No.
you show up with your virtual queue and you get off the ride and you exit. Once people are in there, what's going to get them to leave?
Right. The logistics of this are so complicated. I mean, we've talked about it before on the show, but you literally have to take a train to get to this
Exactly. Yeah.
experience. That's not easy. Moving people is never easy, especially at a place like Walt Disney World, where
Yeah.
there's so many people, so many places. From the videos I've seen in real world practice today, it doesn't look like Bluey and Bingo were like overwhelmingly surrounded by people. So I'm
That's good.
thinking they really did like a nice capacity cap.
Mm.
But you're right. I don't know how we're going to move people out because you're also inside. And so, it's hard to, sometimes people like load up somewhere and they don't want to leave,
Now, so we know this is not like you said, the traditional meet and greet. There isn't a queue to line up and take your
Right.
your individual picture, but we do have a lot of kind of interactive games and activities the whole family can get. Did you actually go hands-on with any of the games or activities, or
So
was it so?
I looked from afar. Keepy Uppy was very popular. I did do the magic shots again, which you and I had done previously. Such cute magic shots. There's so many of them, and they have you in all these different poses. It was really, really fun. Kids are gonna love this. I think this is gonna be crazy for months to come. I did try the fairy bread, which
okay.
if you want to get in on the Bluey action at Animal Kingdom, but can't get the virtual queue, you can kind of still salvage your experience.
Okay.
There is the photo pass, which is not, you don't need the virtual queue to get there. And then the fairy bread, which is the famous Australian treat from the show, has been reimagined, and it's at Pizzafari, which also you don't have to.
So you don't have to take the
get
train
a virtual
to get there.
queue. So I'm wondering, I guess you don't tell your kids that Bluey and Bingo are there and then hope that they don't ask, or just do the magic shot and pretend you met them. I'm not sure how to manage those expectations, but this is going to be super, super popular.
So you've got the character appearances and the activities, but it's not the same live show that we've talked about that they have out in California
No,
at the
this is
Fantasyland Theater with the live
completely
musicians.
different.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And
All
then this
right.
also is going to have an actual animal portion of it where you're meeting native
Yes.
Australian animals. I think I saw that wasn't ready yet today.
Okay. I don't doubt maybe the animals need a little more time to adjust.
Yes.
But I was gonna say I'm gonna wait a little bit for the hype to die down before I go myself. So I'm thinking 2032, 2033, maybe. I think that'll
Yes.
be long enough.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
I've watched Bluey just to, get myself acquainted with it. I am not the target audience. I say, may the odds be ever in your favor. If you are trying to experience this with your family, definitely read through this article. You're going to
Yeah.
want to be well informed on how to approach that virtual queue.
7 a.m., folks.
7 a.m. Be ready. Have your party selected, which I think is very important because if you're friends with a lot of people on there, which I am, you have to go through.
Every time I get a virtual queue, I have to unselect you.
Yes, I unselect you. Make sure you do that and have that ready to go ahead of the 7. It never hurts to use a world clock with the seconds on there.
Yes.
I would like to press the refresh at the bottom, and then right above it is where that join virtual queue button pops up. So just kind of be ready for the process. This will go in seconds. Muppets went in seconds during AP preview. This went in seconds. Today was the first day. Who knows how it's going to be moving forward? I hope everyone gets to experience it.
Get that finger ready. Get that finger ready.
Get there. Do some warm ups. Do some stretches. But acquaint yourself with this because you don't want to just show up and say, "Oh, I'm getting on the train." You're not going to get on the train.
Do not promise your child that you will be seeing Bluey until that virtual queue is in hand. And even then, I'd wait for them to start calling your group before you even tell them anything.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. That is a really good point. And they are doing the time limit. So I know in the past when you get your time window, if you're a little late, say you were eating, they're not honoring the time after, if your window is till 3:20 p.m., your window is till 3:20 p.m. And with something of this demand, they're not messing around. At least in the beginning, letting it slide. Because that happened to me when I did the Muppets last week. I was late.
You missed it.
They eventually let me in. I just
don't they know who you are?
No, I would never do that. But the ride broke down, which was a blessing for me because then they let people in that had missed the time. But so definitely be there waiting because they are going to be very strict with this as they kind of have to be.
All right. Well, good luck meeting Bluey. And have fun with those crowds this summer at Animal Kingdom because I think it's going to be that's definitely going to bring some foot traffic into that park that wouldn't be there otherwise.
Yes, and get the ice cream sandwich. It kind of blew my mind and changed my life.
Ooh, changed your life. That's an endorsement.
Yes.
Something else that is happening that is another interactive character experience that's not quite a meet and greet, not quite a show. It is debuting today inside the Diamond Horseshoe Gemmery. It actually opened a couple days early, but this was the official debut day today. And it is called Jessie's Roundup. You're going to find it at the good old Diamond Horseshoe, which has sat closed for way too long in Frontierland at Magic Kingdom Park. So if nothing else, it is great to have some live entertainment and activity in that space again.
Absolutely. And again, inside, which is kind of like the whole thing behind the Cool Kid Summer is we need
we are trying to cool your kids down so they don't overheat.
More experiences inside is what we love to hear. I got to see Woody and Jessie do a little demo of the experience. Fun. Super cute. I've always loved when they do these kind of indoor things. At Disney Channel night at Disneyland, inside Golden Horseshoe, they kind of did like a line dancing class, which kind of gave me the same vibes as this. I think Disney Parks Instagram posted like a tutorial on how to do the dance. You can learn the dance. Again, inside, adorable characters, perfect corporate synergy with Toy Story 5 coming out super soon. And it's hot. I'm not gonna lie. I am not a child and I need like a solid 2 hours if I'm doing a whole park day to sit inside in the air conditioning. It can really save your day. So this is just another one of those offerings that are going to keep you inside, but still entertained,
Yeah, I'm gonna. I have not been over to the Magic Kingdom myself since Big Thunder reopened. Waiting for the wait times to go down a little bit. But when I head over, I am really looking forward to checking this out. Nothing else, just to have a nice, cool place to sit and
Mhm.
relax. Diamond Horseshoe, and I miss when they had shows in the Golden Horseshoe out at
Right.
Disneyland, like
Yeah.
Billy Hill. So always a fan of more live entertainers having employment inside the park.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Yes. And
I
this
think
one
it's
features a brand new original song. So that's something
yes,
to
that's
be
what
on
I
the
was gonna
lookout for.
say. Yeah, new song, written just for this, along with, of course, you're gonna hear "You've Got a Friend in Me," and this all kind of ties into the Toy Story 5 film that is coming out real soon, because they've updated the characters, kind of match their appearance in that new movie, and I guess they've got some jokes about Woody getting old,
Yes.
which I thought the whole point in the first movie was he was already old and the spaceman toy was new, but I guess now we're going back to that 5 movies later, so all
Yes.
right. All right, well, this is, of course, running right now at the Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World, and running right now at Disney's Hollywood Studios, hopping back to where we started. Uh, there has been a major update to Millennium Falcon Smugglers Run. We have talked a lot about in the past the new changes, the new mission, the addition of the Mandalorian and Grogu in a new time period. But something we have not talked about before is the secret Grogu mode and how to activate it. So, my first question is, what did you think of the new missions, the new Smugglers Run, and did you get a chance to engineer so you could talk to Grogu?
So I was the engineer. I failed miserably because
Oh,
Grogu is so adorable. So basically, in this updated version, on your screen to the left, like Grogu is constantly there doing adorable stuff. So I kind of missed everything. There, you'll see the picture in this article. I just kept
very
looking at him and his
distracting.
little motions. But you know what? I enjoy this ride. I don't really like, I will say, I just kind of don't do the interactive stuff. It's sort of like how I am on like other interactive dark rides where I just want to kind of take in the ride
Yeah.
experience and I'm not
No, I don't know.
necessarily
I've
in it.
seen you shoot some targets in Buzz Lightyear.
Okay, well, I'm good at that and Men in Black, but every other
Men in
ride with
Black,
an
yeah.
interactive feature, I just want to enjoy the ride. And you can
Uh-huh.
certainly do that. I mean, everyone else is going to be more competitive, but seeing Grogu next to me for that was just so cute and it was totally distracting me. So I did not enter Grogu mode,
Mhm.
let alone
Ah,
do well.
ah. Well, and, honestly, way back when your score, your credits were supposed to actually mean something when you walked around the rest of the land, but they gave up on that like on day one. So your score is not important. What matters is the friends that you made along the way
Yes,
with
with
Grogu.
Grogu, yes.
So if you remember, the engineer position in the past was basically that was the loser position. No one wanted to be engineer because really wasn't much to do except get blasted in the face with air and have to slap a bunch of buttons. But now single rider line is going to be a lot more popular because that's where you usually end up, and now you get to interact with Grogu. And this secret mode really makes Grogu the focus. Normally, you have narration, you have the Mandalorian coaching you along, but if you activate this special Grogu mode, much like the Chewbacca mode that used to be on the old version of the ride, it will be all Grogu all the time.
Mhm.
No more narration, no more instructions, no more explaining what the heck you're supposed to be doing. Just a whole lot of adorable babbling.
Yes, just give
So
people what they want.
right. So if this sounds like something that would be fun for you, and I will be honest, don't do this your very first time on the ride. At least see it once or twice the way it's meant to be,
Mhm.
especially if there are other people in your vehicle who have never done it the right way. At least tell them before you activate Grogu mode. But if you want to do it
That's a
here,
great point.
yeah. I mean, you should get consent before you Grogu, really.
Yes.
So it's actually, even though during the ride itself, it is the engineers who interact with Grogu, To activate this mode, it's the gunners, the people in the middle position who are in charge. And what you are going to do is, as soon as you sit down and you put your seatbelt on, instead of hitting that circular button that lights up, you're going to instead press the gunner button that is, if you're on the left side, the far left, if you're on the right side, the far right, the one that's furthest from the front screen. And you're going to hold that down while simultaneously then pushing the lit up circular button. And if it works, if you did it right, you will hear Grogu. He will just be babbling through the whole thing. And if you decide to go to Coruscant, which is one of the 3 options for pathways you have, you'll hear the Cantina song too. So double bonus.
So fun. It's my favorite. I also did go to Oga's to really round out the experience.
Okay.
And enjoy more air conditioning.
I'm back. I had a very brief internet outage, but I am back. And I cannot wait myself to get out there. And I haven't been to Oga's in quite a while. And I did ride this the night after you guys in the media got to ride. I stopped by and was hoping that they would be soft opening it for the general public. But actually, they are able to literally just flip a switch and go back between the 2 versions at the drop of a hat. So
Yes.
I got to do one last ride for Coaxium, which, if that's the last time ever, will not be too soon. And I, sitting in the back with 2 small children as pilots, watching them just slam the lever left, right, forward, back. We were just getting knocked all around. It makes me very happy that apparently the new programming has these soft guardrails, so that even if you have a driver who is just wildly oversteering, that it will keep it from being that painful. And I'm very happy to hear that.
I love that.
All right. So now for something completely different. Yes, folks, I have absolutely no idea how Nateland got into the middle of our Walt Disney World coverage, but we have to take a moment to take a look at the new rendering of Nateland, the theme park that comedian Nate Bargatze wants to build. I know I pronounced that the way it's supposed to be pronounced, not the way he pronounces it. But yes, so we heard about this way back at IAPA last November, and there was lots and lots of skepticism about why.
I still feel like a big joke is being played on all of us.
About how, why, what. But the plan is for a more than 100-acre theme park called Nateland to be built not far from where Opryland USA was in the Nashville area. They're talking about spending about $350 million on it, which is really not a lot of money for a 100-acre theme park by modern standards. But this report with the Wall Street Journal says that the park could include roller coasters, shows, restaurants, themed lands based on periods from Nate's life, and attractions including a donkey dive ride based on one of his comedy bits. I do not know the comedy bit, and I do not want to picture what a donkey dive ride would look like. But the part of this that I think is most fascinating, he has partnered with Storyland Studios, which is a very legit conceptual design studio that's done work for real companies and real parks that actually get built. So that's a positive sign. But what fascinates me is the entrance to this theme park. That we have, I guess, as a Gen Xer who is rapidly aging, to now see the icon, just like in Walt Disney's day, he wanted a Main Street USA to remind him of his hometown's shopping experience. Nate wants to bring back the 1990s shopping mall as the entrance to theme park. And I think it's just kind of so insane. It might be brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, again, like every time I just keep rolling my eyes. I never heard of him until we started reporting on it. And then I just about passed out when I saw the Wall Street Journal article title comparing him to Walt Disney. And I was thinking, what dirt does this man have on really powerful people? Because I don't know. I mean, I could never put someone's
He's
name
making
in
money
the
for
sentence.
someone. He's making money
He
for
is.
someone.
I mean, naming a park after yourself, unless you're Dolly Parton or Walt Disney, is insanity. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just so hard to take this seriously. We
It's
report
almost
on
like
so
naming
many
a mummy
parks
movie
that
after
never
yourself.
happen, you know, like American Heartland. We're still waiting on Mattel. When it's Mattel, that should be, you know, really happening. It is. It's being built. But it is just crazy. I believe like Dolly tried to do a park in Nashville maybe about a decade ago, and that didn't happen. I do think that Nashville, being such a tourist destination, needs more family-friendly attractions, and the theme park would be perfect. I just don't know how this is the answer, but
yeah,
I don't know.
mean, I can't say it any better than you just did.
Yeah.
I don't really have a lot to say about what the feasibility, practicality, the chances this will ever get built. But the first and only thing that has sparked my interest about this is the idea that the grand entrance to this theme park will be a shopping mall straight out of the 90s. You know, if they can like recreate the classic food court and the stores, even if it's almost like I mean, I'm sure it won't be like, you know, a Meow Wolf level of creativity.
Right.
But even if they were like fake stores,
Like a Sam Goody, you know.
Yeah.
Walden Books.
KB Toys.
Yeah. I mean, I would say this is interesting to follow, but I don't know why I'm just so emotionally tapped out on this project. But I think everyone in this world kind of feels the same way. I don't know. I don't hate to be negative, but it's just so bizarre.
I'm sure we will have more to say about this in the years and months to come. Until the park is open, Nate's got other stuff coming up. He is hosting a Norwegian cruise this year, and following in the steps of, like we said, other folks like Dolly and Jimmy Buffett and Walt Disney. All right, let us head back. Okay, I'm sorry. That is actually going to bring us to the end of this week's News in the Queue. Since I just spoiled what our main attraction is. You didn't look at that.
People knew. Yeah.
But before we jump into that main attraction, it is time for us to hear a word from our sponsor.
The Attractions Podcast is brought to you by MEI and MEI-Travel. Whether your next vacation is a magical trip to the theme parks, an exciting adventure to the pyramids of Egypt, or just a relaxing cruise on the turquoise waters of the Bahamas, MEI-Travel provides premium service and expert advice to help you get the most of your vacation. They are always free of any hidden fees or costs to you. Visit them at mei-travel.com.
It's time for the main attraction!
And for this week's main attraction, yes, we are headed back to Hollywood Studios one more time for what for some of us is both the most anticipated and was kind of most anxiety inducing attraction update at Walt Disney World this year. We lost Muppet Vision 4D last year, but we have regained the Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets. I was one who was a little skeptical about shoehorning the Muppets into a roller coaster, but I want to hear your thoughts because I thought they nailed it.
Nailed it. Again, we were all nervous for many reasons. After losing Muppet Vision 4D, the whole courtyard, that stung. Redressing a ride is always an ambitious challenge, and you never know what's going to happen. I was talking to, I want to just like say this because I feel like it really changed my mind. I was talking to one of the Imagineers at Walt Disney World, and he brought up, you know, Smokey the Bear and national parks. And I was like, wait, where is this going? And he says, when we redo something, it has to be better than when we found it. You know, like leave the planet better than when we found it. And that can be any more perfect for this ride. Is they took a ride that I've always loved. I didn't care about Aerosmith. They made it like an entirely new ride. the amount of, let's just say, nerds that worked on this project must be astonishing, because there's over 100 props, Easter eggs, memorabilia from, Muppets film, movie, former attractions, pizza.
It is obvious that there were some really deep fans, because there are it's not just the obvious Easter eggs. It's really, really deep cuts and some really subtle jokes. Not just we got a bunch of stuff and let's just pile it up. They did a great job from as soon as you enter the queue, and the celebrity cameo videos and the props, all the way through that pre-show and the ride itself. Just a lot of love from start to end.
Yes, and we're talking like actual props, like Great Gonzo's cannon from Muppet Vision 3D is in there. And then there's also kind of recreations, like Kermit's famous banjo. Connection. They made like one for one. They recreated it. The original one's in the Walt Disney Archives safely. I personally loved all the homages to Pizza Rizzo, and there were a lot of them.
Yes, I was surprised that on the ride itself, you drive past a sign for it. I love that.
Yeah, it's everything I wanted it to be and more. And it makes me so happy, because if you talk to little kids, like I'm like a lot of little kids, 10 and under, they don't know who the Muppets are. We were just like on the phone with a family member that turned 7.
Makes me sad.
So I hope this ride will introduce the Muppets to a whole new crop of kids, because obviously our generation is going nuts for it. This is what we grew up with, and it's so lovingly done by the Muppet Studio and Walt Disney Imagineering. And it's like the type of ride you go on and you're just smiling for like hours after. And
speaking of which, we have, I think we have to watch this, because I love.
Yes, I wrote it with Matt.
I'm going to mute that for copyright purposes.
Yes.
Because I don't want us to get a strike, because there's some music. But you can definitely see how much fun you and our publisher, Matt, were having on the ride.
Yes, I was so happy. So I think I wrote it 6 or 7 times in total between media day and then when I went back for annual pass holders. And when me and Matt were so happy, we got asked to do our on-ride camera, which was super special. We wanted to do it together, because if you've ever done one, it's so weird to do alone, because you're like, what do I do? So we decided to do it together, and we got Blur, which is, I thought, a great song to get. You could see him
song number 2, right? Everyone just knows it's the woohoo song.
Yes, woohoo, yeah. We got song 2. It was great. It's just such a fun ride. Again, like you just leave and you're smiling. And I think the really interesting thing is like to truly emphasize the ride starts long before you get on the coaster. The queue, the pre-show. It's not like a museum, because it's much more fun than any museum I've ever been to. It is truly chock full of so much detail. I mean, I spent a lot of time in there, every single time noticing something. And this could be something as small as like a Post-it note in a deep corner that you can barely see.
Yes.
But it has something on it that means something. And I think it's going to take us a long time collectively for every single thing.
Everything. Yeah. One of my favorite little references is, if you remember, there used to be big doors with marbles in them, and they were famous that people would touch them. They're the most disgusting things in all of Disney. And thank God those marble doors are gone, but there is a little sign and I think a jar, a little collection of them that's a reference to that, which I loved.
And like those are the details. It's like super small things. I believe also somewhere there's a little limousine to homage to the Aerosmith ride. I couldn't find that. If you were doing rating for the front row, which is that little like queue in the back corner, there's a display case there. And I found, like, on my last ride, I was waiting for the front, there was a flyer that says, make it a stretch, make it a super stretch, super small. So there's so many of these little moments. One more. If you were doing single rider, there's a flyer for a lost bunny referencing Bean Bunny from Muppet Vision. Yeah. So there's like so much that it's going to take all of us riding many times to find every single detail.
And I am a person who normally does single rider on that attraction.
Mhm.
During the previews, the annual pass holder previews, because they were using the virtual queue, there was no one in Lightning Lane, so standby moved the way it should.
Yeah.
But I will probably be waiting in a bunch of single rider queues for that. The only thing that I do wish is the video screens that have the celebrity cameos. The way the queue is set up, you go past them very quickly,
Yes.
unless you just come out of line and just plant yourself there. I wish they had extended those queues, those videos out into the outside queue, because right now
Yeah.
there's nothing to look at when you're
Absolutely.
outdoors.
And so that video loop is 30 minutes. So it's kind of not
And you're
one where
past it in about 2 minutes.
yeah, you can't really like linger in that room. I mean, I guess you
Mhm.
could, but it would be kind of rude to everyone around you.
There
So I need to find a good YouTube video of all 30 minutes because I missed a lot of
I
it, even though I lingered, you know?
There is the celebrity cameos are great. I really like the Neil Patrick Harris one.
I saw that.
But
Yeah.
the best thing in there is a segment of Uncle Deadly sitting next to Robin on an airplane, and Robin is just asking him 1,000 questions, and it is the funniest back and forth. It is
Yeah.
pure like classic Muppet style comedy.
Mhm.
Highly recommend. Just get out of line and plant yourself there for a few minutes and watch.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Um,
And I mean, the onboard experience is what you know and love, but I wasn't sure how that would go. I absolutely
Mhm.
loved it. It's general sentiment the same with a lot of plussing, which I think
Yeah,
was exactly what they should have done.
yeah. I mean, the actual ride to me, it doesn't feel like the launch is any less
No.
powerful, but I
Mhm.
had less head banging. I feel like
Yeah.
maybe they just did maintenance on the tracks and the trains to where it's still a fairly intense coaster, especially by Disney standards. But it didn't feel like they neutered it. They just kind of smoothed it out, cleaned it up a little. And I do love that the visuals inside are pretty much the same, but they just Muppetize them a little.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, especially like Beaker slammed into the freeway sign.
Civic Center sign. Yes. Oh god,
And
I love that
the
part.
sign for Worldwide Studios, which is a reference to the original Muppet movie. Um,
Yes.
I think though the thing that's going to keep me coming back is not even so much the ride itself; it's that pre-show. That pre-show
Mhm.
is the best pre-show upgrade I think Disney has ever done. Going from just the video of Steven Tyler and the band to actual animatronics in the room,
Yeah,
and
that animatronic is unbelievable.
so
So
good.
good. And
I
for the pre-show, there's also 5 different variations. So there's 5 different
Yes,
characters that
yeah,
could I didn't
little
know that prior to doing it, that could interrupt the pre-show. So
uh-huh.
there's Miss Piggy, Swedish Chef,
Mhm.
and it was just I didn't know that. That was
I
such a fun
yes, I
surprise.
Yeah, so it totally gives it more rewatchability factor. Stay if you can until they sweep you all the way out, until they make you move to the next room, because Scooter animatronic does a fun little thing at the very end, and then Sweetums comes in sweeping
Mhm.
up behind. So
Yes.
yeah, there's little visual gags right until they close the door.
Absolutely. I mean,
And
again, like
yeah,
this was truly a ride made by people that love history,
hmm
love the Muppets,
yeah.
and it's really the only way to do it. I am so
We
happy. It's like now my favorite ride ever. And I'm so happy because we're gonna have this for years to come. And it's so good. And I can't wait to discover more. And
yeah.
I want to buy the merch. The merch shop wasn't open this weekend for
I
AP
know it
preview.
was all blacked off.
I was
I
so
was sad.
sad.
Yeah, got to go back for that. We do have a question in our comments from Matthew Carter. He's watched the YouTube clips of both the old version and the new version, and likes it. Yes, it's even better in person than it is on a YouTube. Do we think there'll be a new iteration of the 3D Muppet Show or Muppet Vision 4D? Technically, Muppet Vision was called Muppet Vision 3D slash
Slash.
4D.
Yeah.
That was the full name. I would love for it to come back, and I know that they documented it so that they could, in theory, do like a virtual reality version of it in the future. But it does look like a lot of the props and pieces from the old show are now in the ride, so
Yeah.
they couldn't just put the entire old show back together. I would love if, when Villains Land opens and the
Yes.
Villains show there runs its course, to have a new Muppet Vision, a new Muppet show. I don't know that 3D movies are the way forward though anymore.
Yeah, and
I
I
think
know
a mixed.
I agree with you. I do. I love the villain show next door, but
Mhm,
I do think when we get closer to actual villains land at Magic Kingdom, that might go away. Yeah,
mhm,
I mean, there's so many props in there. You have Gonzo's cannon. You have the famous Jim Henson portrait that was also
mhm.
in the
Yes.
show
I
room.
want to know though where the net full of Jello is.
Oh,
But I want to know what happened to that.
probably
That
in
would
there,
be
but I mean, there's
gotta be
literally so it's like Christmas Day for your eyes in that pre-show and queue because there's so much to look at and so many
yeah.
tiny details.
More than we can talk about right now. So please read this article
Mhm.
by Danny. 5 things we loved about the Rock and Roller Coaster, starring the Muppets. Tons of great Easter egg details, photographs, links to our videos, everything that you could possibly want to know about it, all the deep cuts. I will say at the loading dock for the ride, they have the Muppet Mobile Lab or a Muppet Mobile Lab. I hope that isn't the Muppet Mobile Lab because I would love the Muppet Mobile Lab to make a return in the park
Yes.
someday.
Yes. Well, they said
Uh,
it's an actual one, not a recreation. That
uh-huh.
was really a nice surprise seeing that because I
Uh,
missed that. That was great character interaction and just such a like
mm-hmm.
unhinged, spontaneous
it,
guy.
it was great. And then finally, here's a spoiler alert if you don't cover your ears. Statler and Waldorf, they kind of kept that secret until very, very
Mhm.
close to the end of the project. So happy that you get to drive past them as you approach the unload area, that they saved that, and they even say some lines that are very reminiscent of quotes they had in the old show. But I have to ask you, as you rode it several times, I rode it several times. Every single time I rode it, the train was stopped before you got to them and were able to see them, and the audio for them played, and then we drove past them after they had finished stopped talking, and never actually got to go past them as they were talking. Did they ever
Okay.
happen right for you?
It kind of varied for me. A few
Okay.
times it was perfect. Then if you're stuck for a little bit longer, they say some
Mm-hmm.
extra lines. So I
Mm-hmm.
was stuck a few times and heard some extra
Mm-hmm.
things. But yeah, if you hit it to where they talk before you pass them and you're not in the front row,
Mm-hmm.
or towards the front, you might miss
Yeah.
it. But
Yep.
I'm sure that's like a timing thing they're
Yeah,
working
yeah, yeah.
on.
That was the only flaw that I saw when I was the timing on that because I was looking forward to seeing them actually
Yeah.
running. All right. Well, we have like I said, lots more thoughts on our website, on our YouTube channel, and we encourage you to get out there, ride it for yourself, and let us know what you thought. So this is going to just about bring us to the end. We've run a little over because we had so much to talk about.
A lot.
But before we go, we want to once again thank our sponsors, MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. Remind you to please head on out and purchase a copy of our Epic Universe magazine. It is now the 1-year anniversary.
Woo! Crazy.
Commemorate it with either a print or digital copy of that magazine. And also, please give us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you happen to listen to us, and a like and subscribe on YouTube. Also, please be sure to follow us at attractionsmagazine.com and search for Attractions Magazine on your favorite social media accounts. And until next time, we hope you folks stay safe, try something new, but most importantly, have fun. And we will see you again next time.
Bye.
Bye.